4Runner.
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 First time seeing this thing.
TRD Pro. TRD Pro. TRD Pro. TRD Pro.
Not TRD Pro.
But basically close enough.
This is really cool because this is our first time seeing the TNGA-F chassis, all the Toyota ones, together in one place. We have the 4Runner, we have the TRD Sequoia, we have the TRD Tundra. Okay, so this is the Trailhunter Tacoma, and then we also have the LC250 Toyota Land Cruiser. These are all on similar chassis. Apparently, the Land Cruiser and the 4Runner are on pretty much the exact same chassis.
Near identical.
Down to the length,
Really?
at least.
I know they have the same transmission and motor. So I'm wondering what the primary differences are between the two, aside from the cosmetic bits.
It's really interesting for you and I because we had a chance to see these on the production line at the Toyota Tahara factory.
Accidentally.
Kind of accidentally, not really.
Well, we were there for the GX.
Yes.
And then it just so happened that the first GX lined up with the first LC250, and we were like, oh, hey, that's there.
That's this. But what's really cool is the 4Runner, just like the current generation one, is also going to be built in Japan at the Tahara factory, which is outside of Nagoya. And I can just picture these going down the line in the hundreds, just going down the line, looking all pretty. I do have to say, first glance, I really like it. I think it looks incredible.
Yeah, you kind of get like a fusion of looks between the outgoing 4Runner and even the 4th gen 4Runner, which is pretty cool. And a little bit of the new Tacomas.
Yeah, of course, the front.
Yeah.
The front is a little more Tacoma-ish. And then once you get to the back, I really like this throwback to some of the older Toyotas. Yeah, I think that looks super cool. I also think it's a lot more aggressive than the LC250. So the question that Lewis and I had, and the question that a lot of people will have, we're just wondering the whole time, what's the major difference? Because
aside from like the cosmetic bits, what are the primary differences? I get like, you know what I was thinking too, I think you mentioned this off camera too, the 4Runner appeals to a younger audience, whereas the LC like pulls at the heartstrings of like the diehard like FJ, fans basically. Like you have your FJ Cruiser and like that color scheme right there almost fits perfectly with.
Yeah, love the round headlights, even though you can get it with rectangle headlights too. I also love the fact that you can get that with cloth seats. The 4Runner is, in my opinion, or my guess, it's going to be a more affordable option, especially the fact that you can still get a two-wheel drive version. If you're not going to go heavy off-road and you just need it as like a family wagon and you don't want to drive a minivan, but you still want a body-on-frame vehicle, this is the one, and
the 250 slides into like a pseudo Land Cruiser Prado kind of area for the American market. I mean, we never had like the quote-unquote Prado, we had the GXs, but with the GX moving up a tier to the 550, that kind of slides up to like a LC300 kind of turf, whereas like the 250 kind of slides into where the GX was before.
Yeah, they're kind of filling the gaps, right?
Yeah, everything's just kind of like getting shifted a bit.
So they don't have a LC300 on the Toyota side at least yet. Who knows,
For American market.
Yeah, for American market. They have the LC300 Lexus Land Cruiser, right, which is the LX 600. But now the GX 550, even though it's a similar chassis, same plant, Tahara plant, as the LC 250, it's running a twin turbo V6 instead of the inline 4.
It's probably also like significantly larger too, more comparable to like, let's say like a Sequoia or something.
Yeah, and the thing is, I'm assuming because it has the same motor package, which by the way, oh my God, so much power.
Oh yeah,
big upgrade.
Yeah.
Big power upgrade.
It doesn't feel like it because you're, on paper you're like, oh, it's a 4-banger. It's not, and then you step on it and you're like, okay, well, this is like significantly better than all my other.
Low end torque, I'm sure it's going to be great. That baby turbo has all of the power. And then on top of that, just like the hybrids, like this hybrid that I had a chance to drive a couple times, it blows me away. Even though it doesn't have a lithium ion battery, it has a nickel metal hydride battery, which is more resistant to cold weather and more, it's essentially good for a lot more discharges and charges.
I didn't even know that.
Versus a lithium ion battery.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And also, I don't think it's as dangerous in terms of it like exploding.
I see. Yeah.
What's also cool to me is that these have the option of getting just turbo, 278 horsepower, and 317 foot-pounds of torque. That's with the 8-speed transmission, so you're always in the power. That's already a huge upgrade from before.
That's more power than every previous generation, at least at a base model.
Yeah, and then with the hybrid, it's 326 horsepower and 465 foot-pounds of torque. And it's not like when you're driving something like this, it's not like you're flooring it every single stoplight all over the place all the time. When you need it, the power is there, and that's the beauty of the hybrid system. I think that's super cool.
The 8-speed is, I bet, like the last 2 gears are basically just overdrive for like fuel economy.
This is a very interesting color. It's like I guess it's called mud or something like that. But it does look really, really good on this. The difference, Lewis noticed this, a lot of this is like piano black gloss. It's different from the Tacoma. This one has a lot of goodies that really show off the TRD bits. I love that it comes with a nice upper control arm already. Fox TRD shocks. Nice TRD wheels, interior, very appointed. Oh, one thing I really, really like about each one of these vehicles, instead of it having like the Toyota badge, each one of them say Toyota very proudly.
I think they do that on purpose with all of their like more rugged terrain versions of the vehicles. Like if you go to like the limited trim, it's gonna have that Toyota badge. But if you go to like the TRD Pro or like the Trailhunter, they all have that prominent old school style like text.
Yeah, super cool. Also the fact that it has like these LED fog lights, rigid, and it also has a light bar which goes on when you turn on the high beams, and it's also like a button inside the cab, which is really useful if you're doing real light off-roading. How cool is that? TRD light bar. Always love the interiors on the TRDs. They're really nicely appointed. Very luxurious, very rugged also.
Ooh, that's noticeable too. It doesn't have the shock.
Yeah, so this doesn't have the shocks that the TRD Tacoma has. Huh, that's interesting.
It's cool because there's now more legroom right back here.
Yeah, it is a lot of legroom. The back is really nice. Oh my God, it has so much room. So this one has the optional power liftgate, and the TRD Pros only come with the hybrid, and the battery is here. So there's the button that goes down. Oh, also one thing that they teased a couple days ago is the window that goes down in the back, which is super cool. That's honestly probably the coolest. It's probably one of the coolest features of the 4Runner. We're running out of light. We're doing this last minute for you guys. We're shooting this just 2 days before we're publishing it, so just wanted to get you a quick run through and our thoughts on this, because honestly, if you guys want all the specs, you can find all the specs online and a lot of other car reviewers, but this is Toyota Nerd's take on it, because Lewis has a 4th gen 4Runner. He has a V8, a VVTi one that he uses for towing, and that's his daily driver. And as you guys know, I'm a big Toyota nerd. I have so many Toyota trucks. I have a GX460, FJ Cruiser, Toyota Tundra, and also, what am I missing? LC200 Land Cruiser. So, all right, so this is the TRD version with the hybrid system. I can't believe how much power this thing has. 326 horsepower, 465 foot-pounds of torque. The intake, functional, really cool. I also love the fact that the air intake is this high, which means you can potentially go into water, or water can splash up to this high and it won't go into the intake.
And then the
really
ones
useful.
with the snorkels too.
Oh, another thing that's really neat about this that I noticed that's different on the Land Cruiser is the way it props up the hood. There's 2 levels.
Yeah.
So if it's windy, whatever, maybe you put it on the lower level. I don't know. I think that is really useful. I love this so much. I love the way it looks. I think it's so subtle and nice. Love the Trailhunter Tacomas. So cool. Okay, so yeah, let's just talk about where these are built. Let's just talk about chassis real quick before we go to the other ones. So the LC250 Toyota Land Cruiser, as well as all of the 4Runners, are built in Japan, outside of Nagoya at the Tahara plant. This Tacoma is built either in Guanajuato, Mexico, or in Tecate, Mexico. So it's 2 plants in Mexico, and all they built are these for the North American or for any market that wants the Tacoma. The one in Guanajuato is a sister plant to Tahara, so it's pretty much the same thing. They send all the techs and engineers from Tahara to Mexico just to make sure it's exactly the same thing. In fact, the frame is even made in Mexico on site, but it's built to the exact same specs as the ones that are built in Japan at the Tahara plant. So yeah, we have Japan, Mexico, and then we have Texas. Both of these, the Tundra and also the Sequoia, are built on the same line in Texas, which, you know what? After visiting the Tahara plant, make sure you guys check out that video of Lewis and I just nerding out and also enjoying the Toyota cafeteria. After visiting that plant, I really want to check out the Texas plant. And I was able to talk to Sheldon, who's the engineer for the Tacoma. He said he would invite us out to one of the plants in Mexico. So I'm going to take him up on that offer, and I'll bring you guys along for that for sure. It's so interesting to me that the design language is very similar, right? You have the design language for the Tundra and Sequoia. The front ends look very, very similar. Of course, there's subtle differences. And it's the same thing with the 4Runner and the Tacoma. The design language is very similar, even though they're built so far apart, different parts of the world. And then you look at this oddball thing that looks completely different, unlike any one of these new generation vehicles. Even though it is a new generation vehicle, it's made to look old school. I think it looks really, really good.
Okay, I do have to say, I'm really liking the Trailhunter, maybe even more than the TRD Pro. There are like 2 things that stand out in the Trailhunter that I like a lot more than the TRD Pro. Actually, 3 things really. 1, the snorkel. 2, the wheels. And 3, this matte fender over the gloss.
Yes, yes. And what's also cool is the upper control arm says Trailhunter.
Yeah.
Instead of TRD.
Is there a big difference between the TRD upper control arm versus the Trailhunter?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's probably the same, but I could be wrong.
Oh, and they have different shocks too.
Oh, so this one, Lewis and the guys like to make fun of me all the time.
The old man emus?
Because they say I have old man emu suspension because my suspension, meaning my knees and my legs, are old and creaky.
Yeah.
So they say I have old man emu suspension, but
They're actually good.
that's actually a good thing. It's a compliment.
Yes.
So this one has ARB old man emu.
And then I think the TRD Pro has Fox. So
Yeah. So this is Trailhunter. It's more
like a TRD off-road style.
or it's more like desert running and going on trails, more overlanding style
Yeah.
versus just I don't know, rock crawling or whatever. I mean, that's what I'm assuming, even though this comes with rock rails stock. This honestly seems like it's a little crazier than the TRD Pro, the fact that it has a snorkel and rock rails.
Yeah.
It is very...
I think the tires are the same though.
Very cool. I really like this color. I think this color is really nice. The interior, very beautiful on this one too. The green seats, leather seats. It's cool because all of the controls here, we drove the Land Cruiser today and all the controls seem like they're pretty similar. This one does have 2 high, which the Land Cruiser doesn't. It just is always stuck in 4. I love this bronze Toyota badge too. All right, so actually functional. So the snorkel, it's mostly for getting clean air, especially when you're in dusty conditions. So it goes down here, runs into the fender, and it comes out here versus the stock one.
Just pokes out right here.
Pokes out right here, and then it gets air from here. This one gets air from inside the fender, which is really neat.
I like this like new modern style of the snorkel. Instead of like it poking forward and out, it's kind of like aerodynamic and that it flows with the A-pillar.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. So now this one, the Limited, is essentially the new version of what you are driving right now.
Yeah, because I have the V8 4x4 Limited, and this is essentially just the newest version of it.
But let's show everybody my favorite feature on this.
Yeah, let's go.
This is so cool. Look at this. Built in.
That's tight.
Step. Because why not? I think that's super neat.
Yeah.
Interior also really nicely appointed.
All leather.
Love the leather.
This one's on Geolanders.
Oh yeah, Yokohama Geolanders. We run Yokohama tires on each one of our cars. So then this one isn't the hybrid, which means there's more room here. Because the hybrid nickel metal hydride battery goes right there, and then you get an extra little storage compartment here. Whereas if it's just turbo, a lot more storage space.
Is there like a third row option for this?
There is a third row option.
Yeah.
I did read that it has a third row option, which is going to be very useful if you just have kids that you want to just throw in the back. This is kind of growing on me.
Wait, isn't this the same color on the LC as well?
I don't know.
On the LC,
it's similar.
Yeah.
This is cool. So even though it looks like the window goes all the way to the top, it's not. The window is just the roof line is the same as the rest of the windows.
It's just a
but the
throwback
design
to the
aspect of it looks really cool. The fact that it goes all the way to the roof from the outside. This one has an air damp too. And I'm assuming something like this, something just as little as this, makes quite the difference.
Oh, this one also doesn't have the hood scoop right here.
Yeah.
So this hood is probably a lot lighter.
I like this design because it's clean. Not a really big fan of hood scoops that aren't functional. I think this is really cool looking.
If I got this, I would take this off.
I would take this off though, and I would replace it. Yeah. No.
Oh no, you put the Toyota logo.
I would put the Toyota logo version, like the
words.
the
text.
script. Yeah, the text. I would put Toyota. Yeah. I mean, nothing wrong against the badge. I think it's fine. It looks okay. I just think it looks way better when it says Toyota.
It's such a big car. The intercooler's up top and the radiator's down below.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that these are all turbo now.
Yeah, modern turbo, probably 24, 25 miles per gallon.
Which makes, honestly, I think it'll be way easier to make power on these because the previous generation, 4Runner, Tacoma, Tundra, all of those, the way to make any power at all is slapping like a Magnuson supercharger on them. Yeah. That's the only way.
Only way.
Otherwise, if you just bolt on exhaust and intake, you're not really adding that much power.
Yeah. Who's gonna chip tune this?
I don't know. Maybe
Someone.
Maybe you. Yeah. Maybe you, bro.
Let's go.
So then, this is, you're sold then, huh? This is the one. This is the trim?
Nah, I think I'm sold more on the Trailhunter.
Yeah.
I was originally gonna go TRD Pro, but I think my vote would be more Trailhunter.
It's so cool to me that you drive a car that was built at the Taro factory.
Yeah.
And then the next one that you potentially will get after skipping a couple generations
Yeah.
was also built at the Taro factory.
Technically, it's only one generation.
All right, here. I just
It's
want to
just a
show you
facelift,
this.
yeah.
This is something that I didn't notice. Look at this. Hidden wiper.
What?
That's really cool.
That's tight.
What an interesting feature. I mean, because it makes sense, right? If you have a wiper here, when the window's down, what is the wiper gonna do? Is it just gonna chill here?
That makes so much sense. See, on my generation, the wiper sits actually right here.
Okay.
And when you wipe it, it actually bumps onto the rear windshield, and it wipes it, then it bumps back out.
Wait a minute. But does your rear window
Yeah.
go down?
Yeah, mine goes down as well.
Okay. All right. That must be a 4Runner thing. I've never had a 4Runner. I'm happy with what Toyota did. This is honestly the first time we're seeing these.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when we don't get to do the release photos for these vehicles, we at least get to see them before the public just to kind of give our take on them. Of course, the thing that I love the most is being able to do the campaign for these, which we have done in the past. And that way we get to see the colors, we get to see the features, we get to see everything way ahead of everybody. But this is good too, you know, this is cool because there's just so many new models coming out from Toyota. It's almost hard to keep up.
I just noticed something. The Toyota text right here matches with the wheel colors, whereas the other ones are all kind of like a grayer.
Okay.
Yeah, and also the Trailhunter doesn't have the hood scoop, so you get the sleek look, the sleek hood, plus you get the sleek hood, but you also get the ruggedness of.
This might be the one.
Yeah.
This might be the one to get. Honestly, look how rugged this is. Look how beefy this is. The fact that it comes with rock rails from the factory, it's bolted to the frame. It's legit.
Those aftermarket companies are going to be sweating.
This is so cool. And you want to talk about a huge screen? Look at this screen. Oh my goodness. It is huge. It's like a laptop in here. It is so big. Huh. Look at this handle. When you're going off-roading, your passenger needs to hold on to something. They can hold on to this handle.
Ooh, I wonder how these rear seats fall down.
Now let's check it out. Let's try it out. Oh! Okay.
Huh?
Oh,
Ooh,
extra little storage there.
Hidden compartment?
Okay.
That's cool. I wonder if the rear seats are adaptable for all of them. All right.
Whoa, look at what's going down back here. What is that?
This?
No, there's something over there. Oh, that's for filling air?
What?
Whoa, built-in air compressor.
You learned me.
That
That's
is
tight.
so cool. It says compressor right there.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's really neat.
Trailhunter.
Very useful. I really do like
this
these.
right here is the hybrid piece then, right?
Yeah. Underneath there is the battery.
That's cool.
I really like this yellow stitching too on this green leather. I think it looks really nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna trade in my car.
Sold.
Sold.
That's why Toyota can't take us to these, you know, because we're such Toyota nerds. We're just gonna be like, oh, this is the one I want. This is the spec. And then we just embarrass everyone else.
Yeah,
I'm also surprised at how close a lot of the renders were. Because we were seeing a lot of the renders.
I didn't see any. I just saw that teaser that Toyota posted about the rear hatch and the rear window going down.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Well, it's funny because when people were saying, it kind of looks like the Land Cruiser, it doesn't look anything like it.
Not even close.
It's not even the same thing at all.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look at it. Yeah, if you look at it from here, you might think it's a Tacoma, right? But as soon as you go like this, that's not a Tacoma.
It kind of just looks like a small Sequoia.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a Tacoma TRD Pro minus this. This is like Trailhunter rock sliders, but this is the electric motor. I'm assuming this is like the power converter unit, right? Is that what it's called? This is the battery pack. This is what sits underneath that rear bench seat. But it's cool because you can see the TRD
Billet piece too.
Yeah, upper control arms. Very, very nice here. Look at that turbo. Baby turbo. Cool. Pretty cool. So this is what it would look like if you strip down a TRD Pro Tacoma just down to the chassis and driveline, just to kind of show you what it has. One of the things I really like about the Tacoma is the fact that it comes in manual transmission.
This still comes with manual?
Yeah. But non-hybrid.
Okay.
Right.
Usually the last gen was also the same, like the base models, like the SR5s were the manual ones, right?
Yeah. But this is cool because it has hydraulic bump stops. So, okay, this is good. This is a good idea, or this is a good time to correct what I said earlier about the Trailhunter versus TRD.
They're the same, but not the same.
Right.
Like,
so the TRD Tacoma at one point was doing everything. It was rock crawling, it was desert running, it was doing all this stuff. What they've done is they split it. So the Trailhunter is more focused on rock crawling, trail running. It's a lot slower, it has more armor, it has the rock rails. It's more for overlanding and all that. But the TRD Pro is for desert running, high speed. So one is just for high speed, whoops, dunes, whatever. And one is for slower stuff, rock crawling. And that makes a lot more sense. So this is kind of a hybrid of the two because it has the rock rails. That's the big difference between the two 4Runner models, the TRD Pro and the Trailhunter. One is more for high speed, one is more for rock crawling. What is kind of blowing me away is that Toyota is releasing all of these at the same time, of all of these 4Runners. It seems like usually they like to release the normal ones first and then they release the TRD versions. But it's cool that they're releasing everything at the same time. I think that's awesome. Yeah, I hope you guys like this video. We love doing this kind of stuff with so many new cars. And yeah, being able to do this with Toyota especially hits home because we just love the brand. They support what we do. We love supporting what they do, off track and on track.